How's it going, guys? So it has been 12 months.
12 months.
To the day, today, the day this comes out. Since we left Perth and have
packed everything up.
Yeah, embarked on full-time travel. So we thought we would quickly do a video, try and keep it relatively brief. All the things that we have learned over the 12 months about traveling in your car, and I guess, yeah, some of the things we didn't expect.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's do it. But before we go into that, there are a lot of people who actually watch our videos who haven't clicked that subscribe button. So if you could just click that subscribe button, that would help us out a heap. Thank you.
So the first thing that we learned pretty early on was to slow down. It seems super simple, but we rushed that first part. I don't know if it was because it was kind of familiar, like leaving Perth, we just wanted to get out of there and get going. But yeah, that's our probably number one thing. Like if you've got a time frame of, 6 months, obviously you can't go as slow as we did, but 12 months is a long time. You can cover a lot of ground. So that would be my biggest tip, is to slow down and enjoy it. Don't rush to the next spot because you think you need to get somewhere in a hurry. You don't. I
think we're in the mindset of when you're working 9 to 5, you've got to be
like a holiday.
Holiday or a weekend or a long weekend where you got to like just get to the destination.
Make the most of it and like stop and have a look here and then go. It's not like that. Take your time. It's so much nicer.
Slow down, like don't speed, and it just takes so much more. It's way more relaxing.
Yeah. Get out and walk the streets of like old towns and just really take it slow.
Even
take
if it's
it all in.
Not on your list of like things that you were going to do, still do it. Still have a look around or stop here or pull over more than you would normally.
Yeah, have a look out, go do that.
So next is try not sweat the small stuff. I think it's really easy to get caught up in the moment, or if something goes wrong, or
a million things are going to go wrong. You can't control the weather, you can't control what other people are doing, you can't control your car or like anything like that. Things will go wrong.
So I think it's just important, and we're still learning. I'm still learning
for sure.
To not let that stuff affect you. But yeah, obviously I think the car is a big one. When something goes wrong with your vehicle, it's usually like very, I don't know, it's deflating because you're going to put more money into it, and that's not a part of the budget, and it's just, you don't know if it's the end of the issue, if there's going to be another issue. So it can definitely get you down, but you just can't sweat it. Just go to the pub, get a beer, have a laugh about it if you can, and then figure it out. If you follow Max and Karsten on Instagram, they have a thing called What Would Max and Karsten Do, and they have so many issues and they just laugh about it.
They laugh it off.
I think in the moment, I know it's hard, but you gotta.
And we are still learning to do it, but early on it almost like would break us, whereas now we are like, have you a couple of minutes of a whinge, but then let's move on.
Yeah, it'll get fixed, you'll keep going, you'll keep going.
And you can always make more money. That's our motto this trip.
So similar to our first point, I think we have really learnt to take in the moment, to really, I guess, immerse yourself in where you are and what you're doing. And it is sometimes a struggle for people who are documenting their travels like we are, is to, I guess, find a balance, put down the phone, put down the GoPro, put down the camera, and really just enjoy the experience. Yeah, the process of here we are today. Don't think about too much of where we're going tomorrow. Like, I know you still have to plan things and everything like that, but take a minute and just be like, wow, this is amazing. Even together as a couple as well, like maybe like reminisce of it as well, instead of just like what's next. So definitely take in the moment, put your phones down. And rather, I mean, a lot of people don't do this, but like, rather than just like tick a box and we've been that place and move on, I think it's good to just, I don't know, take a moment and chill for a bit. Yeah, and we've been lucky enough to do some pretty bucket list things of like helicopter flights, and we did a scuba dive, and during both of those we did film like the start of it, but then we just completely put down our phones and just looked out the window, or looked around at all the coral and the fish, and just really immersed ourselves in the experience, which I think you really need to do to appreciate it. 100%. Those bucket list things you're not going to do every day. Definitely. So a big one out there for all the people who love a good app. What we've learned is on the Gib we forgot to download wiki camps offline and things like that. So even Google Maps I think we forgot to download. Not that you need it, but like, not that you need it, but like downloading a heap of your Google Maps offline, making sure all your wiki camp stuff is offline. Those two things are huge. We find anyway. A playlist or a podcast. Spotify. Even download Netflix stuff, because obviously there's a lot of times where you don't have any signal, or if you're in Queensland, signal's shit.
Queensland, I don't know what is happening in Queensland.
Spotify, Netflix, whatever, but Wikicams and Google Maps are big ones. Just don't forget them.
Again, another no-brainer, but we've actually forgotten so many times because you just think you will get service, but you don't.
Yeah. So you just got to try and think ahead.
Yeah, and you can enjoy it a bit more because sometimes if you, especially Joss and I, you're sitting around, you're just like, oh, I'm so bored. Sometimes obviously you can read a book, but then other times you just want to watch a movie before bed.
Yeah, exactly. Another quick one for apps is, we got onto this a bit later.
Literally like a month ago.
Everyday rewards and flybys helps a heap when you're not necessarily going to go and shop at those specific places all the time, but when you do, make sure you do
Scan it.
You just double click that and it has it, and then all your rewards and all your fuel vouchers go on the app, and your car doesn't fill up with receipts.
I used to just collect the receipts and put them away, and I'd lose them, they'd blow out the door, or
the other day we just had like $10 off at Woolies randomly. So little things like that help. Another one is the app Petrol Spy, which I'm sure a lot of people already use, but we always check that when we're going to fill up. It just helps with finding cheaper fuel, plus your 4 cents off when you've got a voucher. Yeah, it adds up, especially over 12 months, 2 years, as many travellers would know.
We kick ourselves we didn't start this earlier.
Yeah, so those kind of things add up, and they're just like little handy apps. Once you have them set up, it's so easy.
And you can have the same account on both phones.
Yes, true. That's
so
good.
if I go to the shops, I can take my phone and use it, whereas Joss, he can use it on his as well.
It's and then the points go to the same account.
The same account, yeah.
It's good.
So another one is don't be afraid to get off that like lap trail. So go find your own hidden gem. Go use the visitor centres in like little towns and have a chat to the volunteers that are working. Speak with locals and just go find your own like little hidden campsites on riverbanks, or secluded little hikes that you mightn't have heard of, because it could make such a difference to your trip and turn out to be some of like the best camping you've had, which we've done a couple times on a limb. Someone said, oh, you should go to this place, and we did, and it was amazing. So just find your own little spots. Yeah, even like some people, we've done it a few times, is just like go on Google Maps and see where that road kind of ends up. It might be a place that legally you're allowed to camp or something like that. So those places end up being like some of the best ones. Yeah, especially if you're struggling to find those secluded camps, that like if there's just a lot on the east coast of caravan parks, like try and go maybe a bit further away of where people don't really venture. Yeah.
Obviously we're living out of our car, we're sleeping on our roof every night, so one thing we did plan beforehand, and it's probably not something we've learned, but it's something we've realized and that we're happy with the decision we've made, is to invest in good equipment. Doesn't need to be the most expensive stuff, because our set definitely isn't. No. We haven't got the biggest and... Yeah, we don't have the top brand, but Joss definitely did the research to get the equipment that suits what we need it for, and the type of trip we're doing on Australia, around Australia. Exactly, and we've become really comfortable with what we've got, but it kind of reduces the stress of worrying about another thing breaking. So we got better quality stuff on our kitchen side because we knew that we'd be using it every day, and it hasn't skipped a beat. So I think no issues at all in 12 months. Those kind of things you got to invest in those kind of things, and a good tent and a good awning and a good fridge. Because if you're not comfortable or you're not enjoying, if you're constantly fixing stuff, you're not going to enjoy your trip. And it's probably like pretty common where people buy the cheaper version and end up upgrading later. And I think that's fine to have a cheaper version of something, but 12 months and sleeping in the same thing every night. Do it once and do it right. You wear out your equipment pretty quickly, so you need that good stuff. You're surprised at how like things get scuffed and broken and all that. Or dust gets in, or the heat. Like some things, obviously, other brands mightn't handle that type of stuff, whereas ours has been amazing. Yeah, so we're thankful that we were able to invest in that. Take the time and the money into that, before we left. Yeah. So a big one that we've learned is that it never hurts to ask. Which you did recently. Yeah, I did 2 nights ago. And it's harder for me being introverted than some people on here might be like, well, that's a piece of piss, but it's worked a fair few times for us, and it's kind of just been friendly. The other night there was a caravan park that we wanted to stay at, and it had no vacancy at the front, and we thought, and no online bookings, was all full.
Yeah, they wouldn't answer their phone.
And I went in and I spoke to the girl, and I was just super friendly, and yeah, there was a site free. Well, she made a site free for us. So
Happened in Equestria as well.
Yeah,
They had
yeah.
assigned no vacancies,
Yeah.
but you just asked. Anyways.
happened there. happened when the website says the tours are booked out.
Yeah.
And it's happened also when it's a 5-night minimum, but we only wanted
Yes.
to stay 2 nights or something. So if you face to face or call if you're not there, and just be yourself, be friendly, and think the worst thing they can say is no, and it pays off, and then you get to enjoy something that you thought you might miss out on. So definitely worth asking.
Always ask. And another instance was we did a tour recently, and we were kind of umming and ahhing about the price, just because we legitimately were. Joss just said, is that the best price you can do? And then he somehow got it, I think it was like $50 cheaper or something, which obviously $50 is $50. It's a night's accommodation in some spots, so it doesn't.
And that's obviously something he's allowed to do, drop it that
for
far.
sure.
But he would never do it if you don't ask.
No,
So,
why would you? Just give away money. So always ask. I think it's,
definitely.
Joss does it better than I do. He's a bit more charming.
Yeah. Is that a song?
I don't think so. You can make one.
Don't let the weather get you down. A big factor in traveling and camping, because you might want to go to the beach at the perfect location, or you have to put your awning out and sit under the weather, or avoid the weather.
Sit under the weather.
Sit under the weather. and things like that. So it might be different, your different setup. It's a really important thing not to let it get you down, because it's so unpredictable, especially in places like Tassie and on the coast.
Down south,
Yeah, we've had a few instances where it's been blowing a gale, or the Great Ocean Road was miserable.
Yeah, miserable.
And Jervis Bay,
you just can't check the forecast. Obviously, if it's going to pass that day or the next day, then you might be able to have the luxury of waiting it out. But sometimes, honestly, some places just get hit with bad weather at different times of year, and it's just better just to leave that type of thing. It might do damage to your equipment, or you've got nothing to do. You're just going to be sitting around being miserable.
It'll just make you
gloomy.
Chalk that one off as a
next time.
next
lap.
So
and maybe that comes in with your expectations as well. Obviously, every picture you see on Instagram or Google or the tourism office is when it's prime weather. Sometimes you get to a destination and you can't you can enjoy it, but sometimes you can't appreciate how beautiful it is because of the weather. And unfortunately, that's just how it rolls.
Yeah. Exactly.
Move on.
Just a bonus one. Make sure you pack a good pair of boots. And for me, I wished I packed or bought Crocs, because you just wear your thongs out so quick. And
but also you need something more than thongs to
something to wear in the water.
Wet, but then also they dry out.
Because when I went trout fishing, I had to wear bare feet, no Crocs. So that one time.
Boots you definitely need. I honestly think because you need it for all the red dirt up at the top end. You need it when it's cold down south, when it's sandy, and then when it's wet. So definitely pack some good blundies or something like that. And then definitely some Crocs or my Birks.
Yeah, they're plastic.
Plastic type Birks that you can wear in the water, but then also they're not thongs.
Yeah, you want, and also I think the good idea with Crocs or your boots is after you have a shower or you clean your feet,
put socks on.
You put socks on, and then you don't.
Joss has just learnt this. 12 months it took Joss.
And you don't get sand in your bed. I hate sand in the bed.
Literally, yes.
I hate sand in the bed.
But he does it all the time.
The other thing we've learned is you get used to having sand in your bed. Yeah. Sometimes it's like you're sleeping on the beach.
And sometimes it takes you 12 months of traveling to just know these little things.
I don't know how it gets there.
You just bring it in anyway.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Can you please subscribe and like the video and comment and follow us on everything. Bye.